Hi, my name's Tim, and I wanted to show you how to use a great educational tool called Storybird. First, we'll go to Google. We'll type it in. It should be the first site that pops up. There we go right there, Storybird Artful Storytelling. So we'll click on it. Now, this automatically took me to my account because I already have an account set up. But if we signed out, log out, you would be able to go up here and hit sign up for free. And then you'll be able to pick if you're a regular user, if you're just a parent that wants to share this with your child, if you're an educator or teacher, or if you're a student, which we'll talk more about later. So we are going to go to educator or teacher, and then we're actually just going to go back and just sign into my account. So we're signing in, and I'll tell you a little bit about Storybird while we're doing this. Storybird is a site where they have pictures and certain ways that you are able to create stories that I'll go into more, but it's really awesome. You could use it in elementary. I was thinking more of using it in my special education class because a lot of times I'll work with students who have a hard time coming up with their own ideas, and with this site you're able to introduce pictures to where they'll be able to make up a story of their own. So this is classes right here, alright? And then if I wanted to go to students, I would be able to invite certain students, all my students in the class. I could create the account myself, or I could have the students create it for themselves. Alright? There's also a blog here where I'd be able to communicate to them through there as well. Now they would have assignments, alright? And I can comment on those as well. And the assignments, if I wanted to create an assignment, I would click on the assignment tab, and let's say I wanted them to write a poem about music. Type that in, type a description, how many words, if I wanted them to add videos or anything like that. We're going to back out here. Speaking of poetry, I will show you an example. This is an example of poetry that my daughter did. See, here's poetry about music right here. This is the artist. This is me, Noob79, but my daughter actually did this. She did a really great job. And if I wanted to comment, hey Bo, that's my daughter's name. You did an awesome job. And I would be able to post that. And it's right there. So if teacher has feedback, if your assignment, let's say one of the assignments is you're having the students write poetry, you can just get them to click on this site. And I will show you, this is a finished product obviously, but I will show you quickly. The students would go to create, and there's picture books, long form stories, and poetry. We're speaking about poetry. I'll just randomly pick a picture here. Pterodactyl. Okay. Now we're going to say use this art for a poem. And the thing about poetry, which is cool, they have word banks on both sides. and you kind of just add it. My daughter would refresh repeatedly on it, on the one she did, because she really wanted to find the word love. So if I wanted to put I'd be bacon, which sounds ridiculous because there's a pterodactyl there, but you know, it's a William S. Burroughs. And then if I really liked it, I could publish it, or if I'm like, obviously I'd be bacon is not a great story, I would just hit exit, and I would exit without publishing. If I did publish it, then everyone would be able to see it, or I'd be able to choose who saw it. Okay, so we're going to go back here, back to create, and we're going to do a picture book now. So let's pick out a different picture book. If your assignment was, let's say it's 4th grade and you want them to do a book that has to be 5 to 10 pages long about a certain animal. So we'll pick tiger. Tigers are awesome. And then we would click on use this art, picture book. So what happens here is, to the side of it, these are other drawings that the artist has done. Okay? So for my cover, we can choose classic, landscape, journal, or iconic. I'm going to go with classic. I'll pick a title. The Amazing Tiger Master. Okay, and if I want to change the colors, I can do that. Then I'll just click to the next page. The great thing about Storybird is the interface, the user is able to figure it out really easily. You know? So let's say we meet this leopard. He's the antagonist in the story. Once there was an evil leopard. And he was destroying homes. You get the gist of it. And then we would just skip to the next page. Sorry, hit the plus sign. That's if you want to go back and look at it. If I wanted to look at the previous page, I would take that. Alright, so we're going to exit out of this. I hit save and exit. I'm not actually going to save the story. But if I wanted to, if I was done with it, I could privately share it, or I could publicly share it. And I could also have other people join in and collaborate on it. Which brings me to the third assignment that you would be able to do, and that would be doing a long form book, which is much longer, obviously. This would be for the more advanced readers and writers, possibly middle school, or if you have some higher elementary school students, or even lower high school students. If you wanted them to collaborate as a class, maybe that's something. It would be kind of cool if you had, you know, if you were working on social cues, and you decided that they should write a book about being a new student at the school. So new friends, chapter 1. And the long form book goes exactly like the picture book. And if you were to create it, you're going to pick pictures, you're going to type right next to it for text. Let's say this goat is trying to make friends with trolls. There we go. Book title. I would type it in. The Lonely Goat. And then I would write more about him. There once was a goat, and so on. You get the point. Okay? Save and exit. There's a little bit more for the long story here. My story isn't finished yet. If I want to share it, if it is for school, talk about how many chapters this book is, categories, who's it written for, another great thing about this is obviously reading is a must in elementary school. Maybe, I'm sure independent reading is very normal in elementary school classrooms. Maybe every Friday students can go into the Storybird account and they can pick out books to read. If you have a couple students that are in 6th grade, or 5th grade, I'm sorry, and they're reading on a higher level, they can go to Tween. And they can explore there. Start reading. The Shadowgate. Gives you a little synopsis and everything. It's just an awesome site to give you a creative edge and to give the students something fun to work with. My daughter, I put her on it today, and she wrote that poem, and she also wrote another story, and I'll finish with that one. We didn't publish this one yet, though. Cat Girl. We're both allergic to cats. See? And she is 7. She added pictures, she added words, just an all-around great job. And that is it for our Storybird screencast. If you have any more questions, you can go to the website, and it is really helpful. Thank you.